Hello everyone, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. Thanks for joining me this Monday morning for a Mystery Monday video. So today we're going to work with the Classic Cloche bundle. I was kind of on the fence about this one, but I thought, well, I'd seen some really great samples with it, and I thought, you know, I really love these little villages and how you can kind of puzzle and piece this stamp together. So we're going to try making a card with this, and it does come with some coordinating dies, which are awesome. So you can purchase it as a bundle. And if you're looking for it, it is in the current mini. We have a couple weeks left. It's on page 22. So this is the Cloche bundle and the stamp set, and there's some great little samples as well. All right, so to show you the card, we're going to make a fun interactive card, a shaker card today. I apologize if there's a reflection on here from the lighting this morning, but this is what we are going to try to make today. So I thought this was kind of fun. Everybody loves interactive cards, or most people do, especially kids. It's neat when pieces move and you can shake things and things move, so it's really not that difficult to make. So I'm going to show you how we're going to put this together. All right, so to start, we are going to use a piece of basic white cardstock at 8.5 by 5.5. And there's so many different color coordinations you could do with this. So we're gonna start with the white, and then we're gonna add a piece of smoky slate. Basic gray would also look nice as well. So let's put on a piece of smoky slate, and then we're gonna add a piece of Night of Navy. So this will be our base, which we'll set aside for just a minute until we get our other stamping completed. Okay, so I'll bring my sample back in here. So now we're going to work on this little village in here. So I've taken a piece of basic white cardstock, and this is cut at about 4 inches by 4 inches or so. You want to make sure that it isn't larger than whatever matte piece here, because it's going to go underneath this gray designer paper. This is the Peaceful Place designer paper that we're going to use. So just make sure that your white does not stick out over the edge. Okay, you can cut it smaller, whatever you like. Okay, so we're going to start with some stamping. And we're gonna stamp our cloche out of the Memento Black. I'm just gonna ink that up. It's a really narrow stamp image here, so I just wanna make sure I've got ink everywhere. Okay, so we will stamp this maybe kind of in the center, leaving a little bit of a border. Okay, all right, so there is our cloche. Now we have to fill it. So the first stamp we're going to use is this one here with all the detailed trees and the little buildings. So we're going to also stamp that in Memento. So now you have to kind of decide, where do I want to place this? I'm going to put it sort of a little bit more towards the bottom, leaving a little bit of white. Okay, so just give that a little press, and there's our little village, which looks cute just all by itself. Okay, so now what I want to do is, on my sample, I filled in the buildings here with a color. So I decided to go with Night of Navy, and the image we're going to use for that is this one right here. It's going to just color in the building portion. It's going to leave the roofs white, but the actual building will be hopefully we're gonna do that in Night of Navy. Now you could probably do this with your Stamparatus. That would probably make for really good alignment. So what we're going to try to do to line this stamp up, and excuse my head if it gets in the way, is you're going to just try, you've got some little gaps in these stamps. Now the Night of Navy's a little bit dark, so hopefully we can try to line this up so the building is just blue. And that's not too bad. I did that pretty good. I'm proud of myself. Like I say, a Stamparatus might be a good friend to use for this. Okay, so now that we have that done, I just wanted to color in the background of the trees. So with that, I did Balmy Blue. You could also use Pool Party if you wanted something a little bit lighter. And for that, we are going to use this stamp. So this is almost like a triple stamping project kind of thing. So we are going to use this, and it should just fill in this background. So if you find your Balmy Blue is really inky, you can stamp off once. And again, it's got some little images in this stamp of the buildings. So I'm just going to line up those. And hopefully... so it's got a little bit of blue on there, but I'm okay with that. So it did leave the roofs white. Okay, so there is our little village. So now I just wanted to add a couple of accent trees on there. So with the dies, you get a couple of different tree images. You get these little ones, and you also get some larger ones. So I just randomly cut a few different ones from the Evening Evergreen and the Soft Succulent cardstock, and then you can just decide how many you want to show or how many you don't want, just it's up to you how many you want to add. So I am, let me see, maybe just going to add, well, let's get started and we'll figure out how many we want on here. So I think I'll put a soft succulent one there. And these are really cute. Like if you can see, they have little indents in the trees. So that gives them a little bit of dimension, which is really cool. It's amazing what our dies can do these days. Okay, so let's add this evergreen one, and then we'll add a couple of just little ones in front. So we'll put a succulent one in front of this green here, and maybe an evergreen one in front of the succulent one, like so. So you could just leave it at 4, so you still have sort of a visual. I think I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Okay, and I think the last thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of Wink of Stella to my rooftops because I want it to look like they have some glistening snow on them. So this one's got a little bit of blue, but that's okay. So you're just going to add a little bit to give it a little bit of a shimmer, because in the winter we do see sparkling snow when the sun shines, and even when it doesn't in the dark you can still see some shimmer sometimes, which is always really pretty. And you're going to want to give that just a little teeny bit of time to dry, because I don't want my shaker images to stick to those, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so while I'm giving that a second, what I did with my this designer piece here is I took the die, the cloche die here, and I lined it up on my designer paper and ran it through. And this is going to give us the opening for our cloche dome. So this is what they're like, the cloche shaker domes. And they come in a box, and you get 10 in a package. So they come like this. And what's really neat about these ones, and maybe the other new ones are, or other shaker domes are like this too, they have adhesive on two sides. So that is really handy. And I think they probably mostly come like that, but that's a really great feature. And one little stamp I forgot to add on top here was my little topper. So I'm just going to quickly do that. Just sort of try to center it. I'm not sure if we'll be able to line it up exactly, but I'm just going to kind of aim for the center for that. Look, kind of looks a little lost without it. Okay, so then eventually this is going to go on top of here, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add our little sequins in here to make our shaker. So these are the Subtle Shimmer sequins, which are part of the Peaceful Place suite, I believe. And they're just like sort of silver and white and all kinds of different shapes to them. They're really sparkly and kind of fun. So what you're going to do is, before we add our dome, okay, we're going to add just a few of these inside here. So maybe, I don't know, just squeeze on as many as you like. I think I'll do little, maybe 3 there, 3 little scoops. And then we're ready to put our shaker dome on top. So we're going to peel off the back, because that's the part we want to go on first. And you're going to line it up as best you can around that cloche that we stamped. And it's got a little bit of leeway, so don't worry if you're a little bit off, it's okay. And then you're just going to give it a little press around, okay? And that's what gives it our shape. Oh, I love it. I think that's so cute. And then what we can do is we can attach our designer paper on top, okay? So what we're going to do then is peel off this adhesive backing from the front of the cloche dome. And then, see, I could have stamped a little further to the left because I have a little bit sticking out, but I don't think that's going to show. So you're just going to gently put your DSP on top and push it, the dome through, and just gently slide your fingers around the outside to get that seal onto your DSP. Okay, so there you go. And they are the white. Yeah, it's just the way I stamped. I should have stamped a little bit over, but I just squeezed it in. You don't see the white showing from the front. Okay, so now we can attach this to the front of our card. Now to do this, I think the easiest way for me is just to add some tear and tape. It's kind of awkward to add your regular adhesive just because of that dome on there. So I'm just going to put maybe a couple of strips around the edges. And that'll give it a good hold as well. I'm sure our regular seal is probably fine because it is very light, but I don't want to take a chance on this dome falling off and getting sequins all over somebody's floor. So I think I'll just try to do this and it'll give it that little extra seal. Okay, so we can peel those off the backing here. And another alternative, I guess, is you could use the thick basic white cardstock for your base. That would give your card a little more stability too from toppling over or tipping over. I just didn't have any of that here, so I'm just using the regular, but it is very light. Okay, so I'm gonna put this kind of in the center like so. Just give that a press. And then I'm just going to add that little ledge like I have here. So now, of course, I have lost my piece. Oh, it's on the floor. 1 second. So these are 2 dies. I cut this little piece out of navy and this one out of the silver foil, and I did put an adhesive sheet on the back just because it's a very detailed die. And I didn't want to get glue seeping everywhere. So we're just going to peel off that adhesive sheet. Now this is a little bit tricky because this blue is very narrow. So you're just going to try to lie that on top like so. And then we can put it underneath here. I guess you could raise it if you wanted. But I think I will just leave it flat and try to center it underneath the dome, kind of like so. And then for the greeting, I embossed. Now the actual greeting says warmth, joy, happiness, but I decided just to go with joy and happiness. So I embossed it in silver on navy and cut it out with the stitched rectangle die. And I think I will try to pop this up if I can find some minis. Where are my mini dimensionals? Okay, so I think I will pop this up. Now, what I could have done as well, see, I tried to emboss on that side and it didn't work so well, so I turned it over and did it again. It's the joy of stamping. You can turn your paper over and just keep trying. I could have sort of placed my die a little bit higher, I think, too, on this one. And that would have given me a little more room for my greeting, but that's okay. I'll just stick it down here, like so. And there is your Cloche shaker card. Isn't that fun? You can turn it upside down and just give it a good little shake. And there you go. So I hope you'll give shaker cards a try. They are super, super fun to do, and people just love receiving them as well. So if you're interested in ordering any products, I know some of these pieces are on the retiring list, but you can check if they are still available. And if you are interested, I do have a host code set up for December. It is CJSEAY7N, and you can use that on my website at checkout at christineludwig.stampinup.net. And you're also welcome to follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, and my new YouTube channel, which I'd love if you could subscribe to, which is free. And I'm trying to post all my videos on YouTube as well. So check out those for some previous ones if you're interested in some other Christmas projects or other projects. And I hope you enjoyed this one for today. Now this one, I should just say, would be a little bit hard to put in the mail. You could probably put it in a padded envelope, but you could also just give it to somebody really, really special as a hand delivery or pop in their mailbox. I'm sure they would love it. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.